UFC 356 live in Miami. All right. This is going to rock. We've got an absolutely phenomenal card coming up. We've got Lopez versus Volkonovski. Alexander Volkonovski, Lopez, absolute beast of a fight. And I don't even mention titles these days because now we're just getting prize fights and fights that we want. And it's great in the UFC and it's great for boxing versus Turkey Allah. This is fantastic. This is like great for the sport. We're getting the fights we want to see. And how about this one? Michael Chandler versus Paddy Pimblett. Phenomenal crossroads sort of fight. Glorified Michael Chandler, the guy who sells himself brilliant on being this little dude with strength who loses fights but somehow gets big fights. It's not for because he fights so well. It's just because he's so entertaining. If he had a little bit of discipline in him, he would probably win fights. He's that strong, he's that athletic, he's that brave, he's that exciting, and he has skill. And he's fighting Paddy Pimblett, and nobody knows how good Paddy Pimblett can be yet because of the opponents he's faced and the basic lack of his pro record. Bobby Green was a fantastic statement. And now we're going to see. He's beat Tony Ferguson and retired. That was a lose-lose. But now we're going to see, can Paddy Pimblett beat a bit of a beast? And we've also got Mitchell versus Silva. Right, final predictions. I go for Bryce Mitchell to win. I think Pitbull's going to beat Yair Rodriguez. Because he's had more fights, man. And I don't know, man. I think Yair Rodriguez does have them leg kicks, but he does look vulnerable in fights. So I'm going to go with Pitbull. I'm going to go with Bryce Mitchell to just edge Silva. And now, Paddy Pimblett versus Michael Chandler. Wow, what a fight. Let's break it down quickly. Michael Chandler is exciting, but he can get exposed. He's going to dominate a lot of this fight, I feel. He's going to go for them overhands. Paddy Pimblett doesn't really strike with precision. He also goes for overhands. He doesn't have like technique to his punching, but he uses kicks to steer you off. He has an awkward balance, but it sort of works. He's very athletic like Michael Chandler, and he is big at the weight. And he also is great at jiu-jitsu, which is great because he's going to get taken down at some point when Chandler either goes for an overhand or goes to fight him. Now, if Chandler stands up with him and Paddy Pimblett decides to trade, I think he's in trouble because I don't think his shots are like average. He does throw little windmills. However, I just don't think that it's technically enough to trouble a guy like Michael Chandler on the feet. However, as the fight goes on, if Paddy Pimblett is still in there, which I believe he will be, then he takes the fight. At first, I said, Chandler's going to kill him. I don't think so now. I just think Chandler has holes. He's a great wrestler, but Paddy Pimblett's good at jiu-jitsu, and once he gets you down on that floor, and then he can capitalise on the ground game. I just think of an endurance level, Pimblett can start to wear and tear an older Michael Chandler out, who is too brave for his own good. One has better skill than the other in Chandler. However, I just feel like the dog in Pimblett, the athleticism, the youthfulness, the timing, I feel it's going to favour Pimblett in this fight. I actually believe this is not as one-sided as people may think, given their records. He's beat a very durable Bobby Green. He's not the most technical with his fists. We know this. However, Paddy Pimblett does have a chance. And I think it's better than people believe. He's very tough, but I'm going to go for Paddy Pimblett just to edge this fight over the rounds. I think it's going to go to the third. I just think as Chandler gets more into it, he's going to get zapped by a lot of takedowns and attempts, and the jiu-jitsu will struggle him. Pimblett's got game on the ground, and I think it's going to be tough for Chandler to finish the job against Pimblett. Pimblett edges it for me. That's my final decision. Paddy Pimblett will overall Michael Chandler in a very tough, close fight. Okay, get your views in, your comments in. Tell me what you think about that one. Am I mad or do I know my shizzle? Okay, next, Alexander Volkonovski versus Lopez. I think it's Volkanovski's time is up now. Very tough one. But I feel like Lopez gets the job done. He's crisp, he's sharp, he's athletic, he's strong, he's young. And Volkanovski has just come off some bad losses. The odd win here and there. I just feel like Volkanovski, as strong and athletic as he is, he should get the job, try to get the job done. But I think that enigma has left him. He can still fight, as we know. He's still strong. He can still hit. He's one of the most decorated fighters in the UFC history. But I feel like Lopez right now is just sounder all over. I think he's that Mexican in him. I don't know, but I think Lopez gets the win on this. I think like now, Alexander Volkanovski has the air of indestructibleness has gone, and once it goes, fighters don't have that fear of you as much. And I think Lopez is that guy in the division now where you go, shit, he's very hard to beat. Very, very hard, very durable, very tough, very technically good as well, sound. So I'm going to go for Lopez. I'm not really as excited about that fight as I am for Chandler Pimblett. I'm going to go for Lopez, and I'm going to go for Paddy Pimblett, Bryce Mitchell to get the win. And I think Pitbull just edges Yair Rodriguez. There you go. That's my final predictions. Get your comments in, guys. Uzi Plays Fight Predictions. We're back on it. It's been a while. I love doing this. It's less than 10 minutes. I've made it nice and compact for you. Enjoy. It's going to rock live in Miami, UFC. Check out my Katie Taylor, Amanda Rano 3 prediction, the trilogy. How it's got to that, I don't know. Amanda Serrano won the first 2 fights, I felt, but off that, comments in. Enjoy a good weekend of fights. It's live.